Hey there friends on YouTube, it's theJTL. I'm back again, and today I've got a video for you reviewing a new headset that came to me straight from the folks at Sennheiser. I want to thank them for giving me the opportunity to check out these headphones, this headset. So this is not in any way a sponsored video, but the folks at Sennheiser did send me these, and so I duly used them for the past several weeks, and here is the review. They are the Sennheiser PC373D 7.1 surround gaming headset. Comes with a 2-year warranty, Dolby, yada yada yada, compatible with PC only. And that's an important thing to know. This is not a universal headset. It's got a USB termination, and the surround sound software is set on the PC. And so I did use them with consoles just to try it out and see what the experience was like, and I'll fill you guys in on that a little bit. I will also fill you in on what my overall experience was and whether or not I think these are worth $249 of your dollars American. I'll just sort of go through what was and was not inside the box. Some literature available right here, and then the headset, and that was really all that was in the box. No additional extensions or anything like that. I mean, it does come with the USB and then an extension that goes to your PC, and there's also a little inline dongle that switches from regular 2.0 to 7.1 digital surround sound. These are the headphones themselves. I'm going to walk you around them here. We've got nice velour, very, very nice velour ear pads and headband. Now, one thing that I don't like about velour is they do kind of pick up a lot of fuzz, and it's okay when you're in your dark and dusty gaming cave, but in the harsh light of day, it really doesn't look good. If you're familiar with the Game 1 and the Game 0 headsets from Sennheiser, these are very similar, and they're actually the replacement for a product that I can't remember the name of, but I'll put it somewhere that you can see it. These are the new kind of flagships for Sennheiser. Again, the Game 0 and Game 1s, I think they come in somewhere around $150 depending on where you buy them and when you buy them and if there's a sale and if there's not. These come in at $249, and so they got a little Sennheiser branding on the top, plastic. Now there's a lot of plastic in here in the interest of keeping the headset light. I'm pretty sure that's the big reason why. They are open headphones. Now, if you don't know the difference between open and closed back headphones, basically closed back headphones mean that everything is sealed and all the sound is kept inside the headset, and open back headphones have ports or an entirely open backside that allows for sound and air to pass through. And open-backed headphones generally give a wider sense of soundstage. So that's what we've got here. We've also got a pretty easy to find and use volume knob on these guys. So this is really pretty useful and pretty nice. On the other side, again, we've got the mic. It has some nice sort of metallic red accents along here, as well as the mic screen is red, and it's red on the inside here too. It's a nice and hefty mic, and it does have some bend to it, so you can adjust it. But what I like is it's not like some other gaming headset mics where once you start bending it, it gets all out of shape and it just doesn't look right anymore. These kind of keep their shape pretty well, and this is a really nice mic. And I did do a sound test, so I'm going to put some of that up in there so you can hear a little bit of what they sound like compared to other gaming headsets and a regular microphone. So this is a test of the Sennheiser PC373D headset, USB headset with surround sound. This is a test for comparison against other gaming headsets. This is the JTL. This is the JTL, and this is a test of the Astro A50 Generation 3 microphone. This is a test of the Astro A50 Generation 3 microphone for your listening pleasure. This is a test for comparison of the Blue Yeti microphone from Blue Microphones. For streaming purposes, this is what I use hanging over my setup right here. So this is a test of the Sennheiser PC373D
headset, USB headset with surround sound. This is a test for comparison against other gaming headsets.
They have interchangeable plugs. Now, one of the downsides of this is that this interchangeable plug is some kind of tiny, almost proprietary looking plug that you can stick this in. It looks like it's even maybe 1.5 millimeter, but I don't know off the top of my head. It is not your regular 3.5 millimeter though, I can assure you of that. That's the headset. It's pretty nice. That's the walk around that we're gonna do on that. Let me take you down the cable. It's a nice long cable. And like I said, it terminates here in this, you've got the Sennheiser logo. That looks like it might be a button, but it's not. You do have a Dolby button here for the surround sound. This disconnects and you get an extra 3 feet of micro USB. And I guess what you could do, and the nice thing about it, I guess, is that since this doesn't contain the dongle, you could get a longer micro USB cable to go along with this, and that would be nice. Now, one thing, as I said before, that I was not so happy about, this is sort of just rubber, and the cable is long enough that if you don't make the proper arrangements for your floor and your cable, then I found that I run over this with my chair all the time, and that's not the most fun thing in the world to do. So what I found is I really would have preferred that this be braided, but because it was USB only, and because I wanted to try it on consoles as well, I went ahead and ordered from Sennheiser their 3.5 millimeter extension, or replacement, or optional accessory that you can get for these headphones. And it's got, as you see here, the same kind of termination as the other one that we looked at. It comes with some Velcro attached, and then an angled termination for whatever you're going to plug it into. I don't particularly care for the angled termination, but angled terminations do sort of protect the cable, and it's braided, so that's nice. I really would have preferred that they included this in the box, but I think I know why they didn't. I paid an additional $18. I ordered it, and it got here so I could try out the headset with 3.5 millimeter. So I did a lot of PlayStation gaming, and I did a lot of A/B back and forth to try this versus the Cloud Stinger that I just recently did a review of, as well as the new Astro A40s, just to get a sense, or A50s, I'm sorry, just to get a sense of what the sound quality was like with the 3.5 millimeter. And what I found, and I think I know why, I found that the sound with the console just wasn't all that great. And I think I know why. There's an ohms rating for headphones, and maybe you're familiar with this, maybe you're not, but basically, the higher the ohms needed to drive the headphone, to power the headphone, the more power you need. And I think with something like the DualShock 4 controller, you just can't get enough power from that controller to drive these so that they sound good, so that they open up and the speakers are driving and everything is doing what it needs to do. I was not very pleased with the sound of these compared to the other options that I had, and that could be just straight up down to the ohms rating. Ultimately, they didn't sound that great, so I used them a few times with the PlayStation 4, and then it felt like I got a good enough idea of how they sound, and I wasn't enjoying it. So I used them on a PC. So let's talk about overall the sound, what I like, what I don't. For one thing, just to get this straight out of the way, Sennheiser makes fantastic headphones. I think anybody who knows anything about headphones knows that. I'm pretty sure that these are based on the same design and maybe even the same drivers as the HD 598s that are an extremely popular Sennheiser headphone that you can get for about $150. Immediately when I plugged them into the PC, I was really impressed with what I was hearing. They don't announce them. They're a pretty flat headphone. They don't do a lot of bass. They don't do anything crazy. They are very representational, kind of a reference style headphone. So we should know that straight out of the box. And what I found, they came with some software. I downloaded the software. The software has a lot of features to it, and I'll get to that in a second. But I do want to say that when I started a couple of games up and I really got into playing, the nice thing about these with just the basic surround sound setting was that they were incredibly immersive when I was playing anything. I didn't think like, oh, I'm wearing headphones that are doing 7.1 surround sound with software. It just sounded very natural, and I really, really appreciated that. They could have gone the route of some other headphone companies and sort of amped everything up so that it sounded really sort of exciting, but they didn't do that. They kept it very much sort of invisible. Then I turned the 7.1 surround sound off, and I started listening to some music. Honestly, as good as they were for gaming, they were even better for listening to music. These things, especially being open-backed and really allowing you to get a big sound stage, they sounded fantastic on just about everything that I played on them. And, you know, I did my regular headphone tests, some songs that I know that I like, that I know extremely well and can reference things, and they sounded great on every kind of music I threw at them. If you're looking for great headphones to listen to music with, these will do the job, and then also do a great job with the gaming. It's sort of the one-stop shop if you need PC headphone audio for multiple uses. They sounded great watching videos on YouTube or Netflix or any of those kinds of things as well. The sound is great, but there's still more to talk about. Those are the pros. Great sound, music, and everything else, gaming and everything else. There were a few cons, though, and let's talk about the cons. The cons really start to show themselves with the software that Sennheiser provides. There are EQ settings, they've got esports, they've got music, they've got, I think, film, but none of them sounded any good at all. They just sounded way too unnatural and way too unlistenable to me, so all of the presets that they provided were terrible. They had a noise canceling feature for the microphone. I didn't really have a chance to try that and get a sense of whether or not it sounded good. I usually play in a pretty quiet environment, so I don't really need a lot of noise canceling. And then one thing they provided that I do like is the option for side tone in the microphone. Now, I don't have a bunch of friends that I play with on the PC. I need more PC friends. Come find me on Steam. Side tone is an important thing to me. It's when you can hear yourself talking while you can hear everybody else talk, and I think it helps really balance things out so you know if you're too loud and all that kind of stuff. I wasn't really impressed with the software. I felt like it was nice that it was there. You could turn the surround sound on and off either with the software or with the button. But in terms of digging deeper into the software, I didn't find anything that I really liked at all. So I just left everything at default settings, and that sounded great, but otherwise not so great. Some other things that I didn't really like. I found that, and I was kind of hoping, and one of the reasons why I waited for a few weeks to do the review of these, I was kind of hoping that the clamp force of the headphones would loosen up a little bit. Maybe it's just that I have a big head, but they're kind of tight and they kind of press on my jaw here a little bit. Now, it's not painful. Like I had a set of Turtle Beach PX22s that pressed so bad that my jaw hurt. It's not that bad, but for a $250 headset, I feel like they should loosen up a little bit or be a little looser. I don't know. It just was kind of not painful, but I was aware of them on my head, if that makes any sense. The other thing that I wasn't really satisfied with was this cable. It's non-braided. It doesn't feel necessarily cheap, but it's tacky and not great quality, and it was ultimately kind of too long for my desk setup, and I couldn't keep it out from under the wheels of my chair as I was rolling around. So that kind of bummed me out, as well as I mentioned, they didn't include this 3.5 millimeter, which even if you're not going to use it for gaming, if you want to use these like for travel or, I don't know if anybody's going to travel with these with the giant microphone on them, but I would have appreciated having the option for the 3.5 millimeter cable in the box along with this, so there was a little bit more versatility for the headset. But I guess I understand why Sennheiser would have made that choice. Those are the cons that I've got, but most of what I've got here is pros. Again, if the question is, do you want to spend $250 on a USB-only set of gaming headphones? is the Sennheiser right for you? They're versatile in the sense that music sounds great, games sound great, all that kind of stuff. They don't have a ton of adjustability in the way of the software. They didn't include that 3.5 millimeter jack, so you can't really use them away from the computer. But overall, they're really, really nice. I mean, Sennheiser has always and will always make great sounding headphones, and these have that signature Sennheiser sound. So yeah, Sennheiser PC 373D gaming headset, I give it a solid 7.5 to an 8. 7.5 to an 8. I mean, there's enough that says these are really great, that they're not a dog, but there are those few things that I think Sennheiser could have done a little bit differently that leave them from getting the higher mark. Let me know if you have any questions about these Sennheiser headphones. If you want to know, again, I want to thank the folks from Sennheiser for sending them out to me and giving me a chance to check them out. That's all I've got for this review. Thanks for being here. Like and subscribe if you like things and want to subscribe to things. I'd really appreciate it. And again, let me know if you have any questions. Until the next time, with another review, this is the JTL, and I'm out.